we're going to relax today. But if you don't want to hear about child molestation, you actually might want to exit this video. But when you exit this video, please go to the next one of mine. But seriously, this is a serious subject. So again, if you're uncomfortable with hearing about molestation, then again, exit the video.
By serious allegations. You see, they say social services received a report that Brad was molesting Chelsea's 4-year-old daughter. Brad took a lie detector test in their hometown, and according to him, he failed. But Chelsea doesn't believe those results, and they called my show for a retest.
Did you hear what he just said? Did you?
Take a look.
I love my daughter, and I love my husband. He's my best friend, and she's my best friend. They're the two halves that equal my whole life, my whole heart. I called the show because my husband, Brad, has been accused of molesting my 4-year-old little girl. It breaks my heart because he's always been a good dad from what I can see from him being around her. Brad and I have been together for 4 years, and there have been no red flags. I trust him with my daughter. My daughter loves him. In 2018, my daughter had been telling me that her butt hurt. So I asked her, "Why's your butt hurt, baby?" And she said, "I don't know, Mommy, it just hurts." I said, "Well, something happened to you?" And she said, "No, Mommy, it just hurts." So I took her straight to the doctor. They did a bunch of tests and checked her out, and it turned out she had crystal oxides in her urine. That day, social services called my phone.
So you take your baby to the doctors, right? And then a report was made, obviously because they called your phone. How stupid are you?
So I went straight to social services. They told me that a report had been made that my daughter was being molested. They put me on a plan and did home studies, and at the time, her father and my husband was living with me. They came to my home twice, and they didn't find anything to incriminate anybody, and they said my daughter was in a good home. That was in 2018. This year, social services showed up and said that they had a report that my daughter was being molested. I asked her, "Is anything happening? You can tell Mommy," because she supposedly told my mom that my husband was touching her.
I know kids can be uncomfortable talking about stuff like that, but I find it sad that she was only able to tell her grandma. I'm talking about the daughter, if you ain't catch on already.
My mom has hated me and Brad for the last few years and held a horrible grudge against us. At this point, I'm thinking my mom coached her. So from that moment on, I took her straight to the doctors again, immediately. As soon as it was said, they did a report and said, non-founded. Now, 6 months later, social services opened my door and put a safety plan against my husband. And so I let her go stay with my grandmother. My heart is broken.
So your mom comes to you and tell you there's a possibility that your daughter has been molested, but you, out of pure spite, took your daughter to the doctors to really just be an asshole. Basically just to prove her mom wrong, rather than having true concern about her goddamn daughter. Now, one of y'all tell me if I'm damn tripping. Like, that got me wholeheartedly pissed the fuck off. Excuse my French.
Because I have never been away from my child other than a week or so, and I just want her home. To lose my child is like to lose my whole world. Brad took a lie detector test already, and he failed. So
this mofo took a test already and failed, and this bitch still stayed with him, yo. Somebody help me, please. I can't understand it.
obviously it scares me that something could have happened. I just feel like he couldn't have done something like this. I believe Brad is innocent, but if he fails this one, it's over.
So Brad, that's your wife on the tape. Why would you want to come and take a test after you failed one?
Well, I wanted a retest because I believe that I set myself up for failure in the first one, which I volunteered for that one also. I was asked questions that was specifically told me beforehand that this is going to determine to us if you are of the mindset of someone who would do something like this. Like, have I ever watched porn prior to 2019 and stuff like that?
Have you ever watched porn?
That's what they asked me, yes. And that was one of the very first questions. And obviously,
I'm just curious, how did you answer that?
I answered no because...
Well, of course you're lying then.
Yes, and what I'm saying is they specifically said this is going to let us know if you're of the mindset of doing something like this. So in my mind, I answered no.
Why wouldn't you answer truthfully though?
Because I was dealing with the police. I was a little intimidated because I didn't want to look like someone
Let
who
me
would
ask
do this.
you, did you molest a little girl?
Absolutely not, no.
No. Do you believe that your husband molested?
No.
Now, he believes that your mother is the one making these accusations against him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you also believe that?
I believe that, yes.
Have you ever confronted your mother?
Yes, multiple times. And just days ago, I asked her, I'm like, you hold a grudge against us because of what happened. And she said...
That her husband died and he could have been there helping him change a tire or something.
My mother called me and asked me if he could come, but he wasn't even with me for me to even ask him that. My stepfather, he was a great mechanic, so I knew that he could do it. He changed my tires multiple times, and
it's just a tragic accident.
Yeah, it was just a tragic accident. He forgot to scotch the car, and it was horrible, but it wasn't nobody's fault. It wasn't our fault.
How is he to your daughter as a father? Because he is like dead, right?
He's been there. He's been the main father role in her life since she was a year old. She calls him dad. That's her dad, and she loves him, and he loves her, and he's a great father.
Now, your mom says the daughter told her that he touched her. Do you believe that?
No. Because I've confronted my mom in front of my daughter, and my mom started yelling at my daughter because she said no. But
now he kind of compounds the problem by going to the police and right off the bat they ask him a simple question that, again, maybe a little embarrassing, but you should just answer truthfully. Have you ever looked at porn? Oh, yes. But right off the bat, he makes a lie, so it makes him look like he's lying.
Yeah, and before they even tested him, he went over the questions that they were going to ask him, and he told them that he watched porn.
So at no time do you think he did this? And if he were to fail this test?
It's done. It's over. I done told him if he fails, there can't be. She's my main priority.
Have you ever touched your stepdaughter's private area for your own sexual pleasure or gratification? He answered no. Did you ever have any type of sexual physical contact with your stepdaughter? He answered no. The results came back the same to each question, and it came back that Brad did not tell the truth.
Serious, Bradley.
Babe, I didn't do this, man.
She really needs to know. What do you want to
So, Steve, the question that he was asked about porn is a question that surrounds the issue. As polygraph examiners, we ask various types of questions within the polygraph exam. There's questions about, is your name John? Are you sitting down? There's questions about issues that surround the crime, and then there's issues that specifically relate to the crime. Lying to that question would not cause you to fail the polygraph test because the examiner knows that that's an outside issue. Let me show you what happens here on his relevant questions. As a polygraph examiner, what do I see? So here's a question that surrounds the issue. As you can see, there's no big reaction. Here is a question about sexually touching the child. It is a very dramatic reaction. As a polygraph examiner, that's deception in a chart.
Do you believe he did this?
He failed.
I'm not asking you that. Do you believe he did this?
I didn't, but now I do.
You do believe that he did this. What are you going to do when you get home?
I'm going to get my daughter.
And what about him?
He's got to go.
He's got to go. Okay. So when you do go home, their polygraph was the first step, but I would certainly encourage the police, or you have to do it yourself, to get a forensic interview, that people that are trained to interview kids and what has happened to them, so you can draw more information out and find out why this happened. Because kids can easily be told, don't say anything. And they're scared and they won't say anything. So I wouldn't trust this guy as far as I could throw him. I mean, he comes out with that, oh shucks, I didn't do anything, and oh. But the fact that he's failed now 2 lie detector tests for sexually molesting your child, I would get rid of this guy so fast, it would make his head spin. You, I hope, end up in jail. You can get off my stage. But I am concerned with you. I understand this has got to be a big shock for you right now. And it's easy for me to do the show every day and throw guys off my stage and say, you shouldn't be with them. But this is your life, and this is your husband, and you live together, and you've been together for so many years. It has to be tough on some level to say, okay, I'm not going to be with you anymore, right? But you got to think about your little girl. I mean, other than killing a child, what's the worst thing you can do to him? What this guy is doing to your daughter. It's the worst thing that you can do to a child, is take their innocence away, sexually assault them that way. How terrified your daughter when this is happening to her. So what other feelings you have of maybe this and maybe that and maybe, no. You need to be really strong when you go home, and you need to prosecute this guy. You need to get your daughter away from this guy no matter what. Good luck to you.
All right, y'all, that was that video. Y'all, I don't think she's going to leave him, nor do I think she's going to put him in jail. So I would like to know in my comment section if y'all believe she's going to do A and B. But I also want to know if y'all want me to continue to do videos like this. I'm actually trying a new editing platform, so let me know if y'all like it. But if you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. You could comment, like, share, subscribe. You could hit that notification bell to let you know every single time I drop a new video. I would greatly appreciate your support. Thank you so much for watching. Deuces.